How's everyone doing? Hope everyone is well. I'm okay. If you can hear it in the background, we're listening to Brian Eno, John Hassel, other music. Possible Musics. Wow, Fourth World Volume 1 Possible Musics. Sorry, I'm still a bit out of it if you can't tell. Still a bit of pain, but whatever. Work through that. So I thought it'd be time for another update. I think all jazz stuff in this one, or mostly jazz stuff. So let's get into it. First up, Yusef Lateef, Yusef Lateef's Detroit Latitude. I'm not gonna read it. It's Latitude Longitude. It's basically Detroit. It's a full name right there if you're curious. Great record, really nice funky jazz. A lot of different styles on here, just on the red and orange back label. A lot of different styles though. Definitely some Eastern tinges, funk, soul. There's a nice MF Doom sample from one of my favorite MF Doom tracks. I believe the track Eastern Market. I'm not giving anything away by saying that's pretty well known. So, but great sample, great track, just great album all around from '69. Not sure if I said that or not. So for the players, you have Yusef Lateef plays sax and flutes, Danny Moore, Snooky Young, Jimmy Owens on trumpet, Eric Gale on electric guitar, as well as Eric Gale on guitar, electric guitar. Yep, Chuck Rainey electric bass. Sorry, so writing's kind of small, so that messed me up. Cecil McBee on bass, Albert Heath on percussion, and Bernard Purdy on drums. Hugh Lawson piano, Ray Breder on conga. Roy Brooks Jr. on one track, on that Lucky Son, he plays drums. There's a string quartet on a few tracks on here, as well as Eastern Market, the MF Doom sample, which is pretty cool. So really cool, definitely worth checking out if you're into that funky jazz. A little bit of a different style for Yusef Lateef, switching up a bit, but I dug it. That was pretty cool. Give me a second here, guys. Alright, next up, Gunther Hampel, believe that's how you pronounce it, and his Galaxy Dream Band. This is Angel from 1972, I believe. Yep, from 1972. So really cool album. Shout out to Chris Cole for this one, putting me on to this one. Excuse me. Really cool. Starts off kind of spiritual, kind of chill, more chill, drone-like even, I would say. Minimal vocals, but really kind of haunting vocals. That really cool, done by Gene Lee, who does harmonizing and singing on here too. I think most of the vocals are her actually, so, but really cool. And then kind of one of those records where there's a build-up, kind of minimal going along, but a nice build-up, then everyone just kind of explodes at one point. Really cool. Recorded live in New York City at Double KCR Studios, which is pretty well known. For me, for a hip-hop show that I used to listen to for years was on that station. So for players on here, Enrico Rava on trumpet, Perry Robinson on clarinet. Gunther Hampel himself plays vibraphone. Daniel Carter on flute, Mark Wetcage on alto clarinet and saxophone, I believe, and flute. Daniel Carter plays tenor sax, I believe, as well. Paul Boulay on guitars, John Shea on bass, and Marugar on drums and percussion. Sorry if I mispronounced that, but really cool record. Most of Gunther Hampel stuff from around that time, late 60s, early 70s. Really cool, really on point. Thank you, Chris. Really enjoyed that. I believe this was on Birth Records, on Gunther Hampel's own label. Pretty cool album art, too. Alright, next up here, Mary Lou Williams, Zoning, from 72, I'm going to say? 74. Sorry, 74, on Mary Records. This copy was actually signed to Karen, so it's pretty cool. I'm not sure if that's actually real, her signature. I'm assuming it is. I don't know, everybody would want to fake that, but on Mary Records, own label. Really cool. Kind of If you don't know Mary Lou Williams, it's piano jazz. It's been around for a while. Kind of modern piano jazz, avant-garde at times, spiritual at times, a lot of emotion. I feel like the older she got, the better she got in her case. Some musicians lose that, unfortunately. Their fans don't really enjoy what they're doing in their later years, but this was fantastic from her, I feel. Probably her best album, in my opinion. Mary Lou Williams, Zoning. Next up here, I need to give a shout out to Tony for these next two albums, actually. First up here, he ended up upgrading a copy of this, Touching on Train. It's been showed before, just didn't have it. So it's Eric Gale, William Parker, Rashied Ali, big tribute to Coltrane. Basically, this was recorded in 91, released in 93 on CD only. Finally, in 2015, it was released on vinyl on the Jazz Workstat, I believe, label or something like that. Jazz Workstat, I believe it is. But really cool. Definitely free avant-garde jazz. I believe fully improvised too, which is makes it even cooler. So really, really great. Really enjoyed it. And then nextly here, really a big thank you to Tony for this one. He ended up selling his extra copy of Gilberto Gil's. I believe this one's self-titled. Gilberto Gil. It's also known as J.A. and Gil. I guess I'm probably John Gill. I'm sure I'm mispronouncing that somehow, but really cool. This was a mail order only version, which you could get through a Brazilian magazine. Originally released in '69 on Philips, and this is on the blue Philips label there. Show it. From what I understand, in Brazil or in South America, that time things were only recorded in mono up until like the early '70s. So I believe this is in mono. Could be wrong about that, but that's what I read. So, but pretty cool packaging too. Basically a die cut here. It comes with what they call a poster. It's really just like a sheet, but call it a poster. And then when you take that out, this has text on the inside in Brazilian or Portuguese. I'm not sure if they speak in Brazil because I'm kind of ignorant about that, unfortunately. I've never been down there, but and a couple of pages here in the booklet, text, pictures, his discography, stuff like that. Yeah, sorry, it's hard to open, but really cool packaging nonetheless. Thank you, Tony. Really cool that you sold that. Really appreciate it. I know you got another copy, so you're not worried about it. But the music itself, if you're not familiar, it's basically really excellent Tropicalia psych type stuff. So really, really cool. Really enjoyed this. Definitely one of my first original Brazilian records like this. If not, yeah, I think it might be my first one actually. But definitely open to more suggestions. I've already gotten a bunch, but always looking for more stuff in this vein. And yeah, really cool. Really enjoyed it. All right. Another shout out to Jeff, who I met not too long ago, another jazz head, vinyl collector. He hooked me up with this. Rashied Ali, Leroy Jenkins duo, Swift Are the Winds of Life. Two amazing players come together for this awesome record. What it is, it's just violin and drums. It's a duo record, but you might think, something might be lacking there, might not be that great, but no, it's fantastic. Nothing's missing. You don't need any more instruments, in my opinion. This is on the Survival Records label, Rashied Ali's own private label there. Like I said, you don't need anything else. Great like it is. Really enjoyed this record. Thank you, Jeff, if you happen to see this. Really love this. I ended up finding a sealed copy of this one, which is pretty cool. So this is Abdul Rahim Ibrahim, or formerly known as Doug Karn. The name of the album is Al Rahman, Cry of the Floridian Tropic Sun. And this is kind of after Doug Karn was done with his black jazz stuff, kind of moved after that, converted to Islam. So definitely this is really spiritual, kind of spacey soul jazz, I guess I would describe it as. Definitely worth checking out. Really cool. I just got this recently, so I don't have too much to say about it, but from what I heard, loved it. Great album from him. Definitely pick it up if you see it for a decent price. And another shout out here, big shout out to James Buttery. I know we talked about this record a little bit, man, and I gotta say thank you for just talking about this label and just, you know, just putting them out there so much that I ended up going and checking it out. So this actually ended up being one of my favorite records, if not my favorite record on Flying Nun. If you guys don't know, James Buttery always talks about Flying Nun records, and which got me to go check out this record a while ago. So this is Peter Jeffries and I don't know if it's Jono or Jono Lonnie at Swim Two Birds. Fantastic stuff. Recorded in '87 originally. This is the 2016 reissue on Captured Tracks and Flying Nun, I guess like a split release. It's described as art rock, but it's so much more than that. It's like a soundscape, like ambient soundscapes, I guess. But it's ambient, minimal at times, noisy at times. Just beautiful, beautiful music. Kind of, there's a label there if you can see, kind of light, but fantastic cover. I'm going to read you a little blurb here. It says, an ambient mix of tape loops, pianos, drums, guitars, and strings. An antidote of sorts to a previous sound and method of writing, which I think is a great description of what this record is like. So, really cool, high recommendation. Like I said, my favorite record, I would say, on Flying Nun. Yeah, thank you, James. Really appreciate talking about that label so much, because I knew nothing about it, so. Down to the last couple here. Finally got another BYG. Haven't found one in a while, but happy to get this. Steve Lacy, Moon. I really love Steve Lacy. Great player, great sax player. BYG, pretty known label, but kind of story behind this is that as opposed to most of the BYG stuff, this was actually recorded in Rome instead of France. I don't think this was supposed to be a BYG record initially, but I guess BYG kind of acquired the tapes and put it out under their label as kind of like a cash grab because the label was coming to an end. It was, you know, had to close up shop, was losing money. Musicians were pissed they weren't getting paid. So unfortunately, kind of from what I read, it kind of seemed like they kind of took his music, released it without his permission, and that was that. He never saw the money. Sucks. It's unfortunate what happened with that label because they put out so much great music, but so Steve Lacy on sax you have, and most of the other players are Italian, or French, I'm sorry, I believe they're all French players aside from Irene Abbey, who was a cellist, who actually does vocals as well. She ended up playing with Steve Lacy a bunch, and I think they actually ended up marrying as well. She was his wife at one point too, so. But yeah, really cool. I'm not sure if I showed the gatefold, I probably did. Really cool. Steve Lacy, Moon. The music itself is kind of like dense, really dense, kind of avant-garde jazz, free jazz. I feel like he's still kind of getting into what he would become eventually, but still really great. You can definitely tell it's Steve Lacy style of playing. I've always loved Steve Lacy, so great stuff. And always nice to add one to my BYG collection. And lastly here, this is Paternoster. I believe it's how you pronounce it, Paternoster, self-titled. You guys probably seen this one around. Now and Again Records, the label that Egon runs, offshoot of Stone's Throw, started doing this kind of mail order service thing, where you order a record through them, they like a subscription service, I guess better way to describe it. So this was the first record, I believe it was the first record. It comes with this little Obi thing, Obi strip. So I'll just read what it says here. An indescribable trip influenced by Pink Floyd, Soft Machine, and Procol Harum, but greater than the sum of its parts. All vocals in English, 6 stars. Yeah, so it's an Austrian group, excuse me, not Australian, Austrian group, but all the vocals are in English, like I said. Really nice packaging. I'll talk about the packaging first real quick. Really thick cardboard. This gatefold, that's what it's called. They're now again a reserve edition. Inside, hopefully you guys could see that. It's still doing stuff on my phone instead of the camera, so I'm not sure how wide the shot is. The back has lyrics, really nice thick spine, and it comes with a booklet as well as a CD. Put it in these poly sleeves. Show the label real quick, I guess. The music itself is a mix of prog and psych. Like I said, I believe this is this group's only record, from what I've read. And cover a few different topics, but definitely anti-religion, anti-organized religion is definitely one of the topics. I mean, one of the songs is called "The Pope is Wrong." Yeah, the Pope is wrong. So, kind of gives you an idea. They also sing about darker aspects, life, death, and topics like that. But so I'll show you the booklet here real quick. I said I don't know anything else about this group other than a little bit that I read online. But I can show you the group or the booklet. Pretty cool. So nice text and nice high quality photos. Really cool. Now and again always does great work. So with this 25 pages, something like that. So it's basically organ, guitar, drums, and bass. That's it. All the compositions, all the tracks were written by Franz Whipple. Who's the organist, also does lead vocals. Nice fuzzy guitars. Nice organ sound stuff like that. Definitely sounds a bit dark. It kind of looming maybe. At times the vocals anyway, kind of eerie, but really cool. Definitely strange, definitely out there. Oh, it's numbered as well. I don't know if I said that or if it matters to anyone, but it's numbered. So yeah, really cool. If anyone was wondering how that looks or anything, there you go. I got their second release as well, Worlds Experience Orchestra. They ended up putting out those 2 albums as time goes on. I think it's Time Goes On and the other Worlds albums. So really excited about that. Some nice Boston jazz. I believe they're out of Boston. Yeah, I'll put that in a second. Pain in the ass. Alright guys, that's it. Thank you for watching. If you stuck around, appreciate it. Leave me comments if you want. And I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.